Coming up on Network Africa, President Muhammadu Buhari makes a brief visit to Zamfara State, commissioning a special military task force to combat cattle rustlers. There is a ceasefire effective in South Sudan's capital, Juba, but many countries are already evacuating their nationals. And the UN predicts the number of people that could be affected by the El Nino weather pattern. Network Africa starts right now. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I am Adeshewa Josh. President Muhammadu Buhari has been in the northwestern state of Zamfara, where he has sent a special military task force to deal with the issue of cattle rustlers. This has been a major issue for the rest of Nigeria, with fears that the fighters could be members of the Boko Haram insurgent groups. Defense Minister Mansour Dan Ali says the task force comprises 1,000 troops to be deployed immediately, while there are plans for more to also be deployed. President Muhammadu Buhari, during his one-day visit, also called on Nigerians to reconsider agriculture as a mainstay for the economy, lifting the overdependence on oil. Let's bring in Channels TV correspondent Idris Jibrin for more on this visit. Thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon.
What more do we know about the president's visit to Zamfara?
Well, as I told you earlier, President Muhammadu Buhari and Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, and the Defense Minister were in Zamfara early today for the commissioning of some projects and, of course, the starting of the celebrations in Zamfara. And the President has also seen some projects, roads projects in the state, which he is expected to visit Zamfara Forest, where he's going to flag off a special task force for fighting cattle rustling in the area.
We know that cattle rustling is not just a problem in Zamfara State. There are a couple of other states that are experiencing the same thing. Tell us, why Zamfara in particular at this time?
Well, in recent time, you know, the issue of cattle rustling is not only a problem in Zamfara State, it happens in Kano State, in Katsina State, and in some other states in northern Nigeria. But recent happenings in Zamfara State made the state to priority because there were several reported cases of Fulani herdsmen attacking villages and communities, killing scores of people. And at the same time, there were also reported cases of cattle rustlers attacking Fulani communities to steal their cows. So this has become a repeated occurrence in the state. I think because of that, basically, the Nigerian army and, of course, the Nigerian government decide to choose Zamfara State to be the state where this unit will be flagged up.
So the usual thing to do is when the president is visiting a state, there must have been some sort of preparations and announcement. Tell us, how was the reception? What was the reception like?
Pardon?
What was the reception like? What describe to us the president's visits? What was the reception like by the people?
Well, you know, the people of Zamfara State were very happy because prior to what happens today, here we had different cases of. But today I can see the mood of the people has generally changed. I must tell you, Adeshwa, what I have seen in Zamfara State today the deployment of troops and, of course, the military equipment I've seen in Zamfara State, it's somehow scary. You would assume as if there is a war going on in Zamfara State. The movement of the troops and, of course, the military equipment I saw today. So the people were particularly very happy looking at the fact that, okay, today we are seeing a large number of army personnel and with their equipment going into our forests to protect our farms, to protect. The people were actually jubilating. They were very happy from what I see.
So, will the task force deployed only cover Zamfara State, or are there plans for them to oversee cattle rustling activities in other parts of the Northwest as well?
Well, I think basically this unit will cover most part of northwestern states. You know, from what we had recently, we had the same problem in Kano. The has reduced. We had a problem in Katsina, but it's not like that of Zamfara State. But Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi State are very close to each other. So, and that forest that was identified, the Tanko forest in Maru local government area of the state was identified as the major hideout of this cattle rust. Whenever they conducted their operation in either Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, and many parts of Zamfara State, report says they hide there. So that was why the military had to move that installation in that particular forest. And it was from that forest, that place will be the coordinating center for the task force that will actually carry out the operation. So from what we see, it's like this task force will be covering the entire northwestern region, but with a special and particular focus to Zamfara State.
Assuming that this task force will have to work with, the police and other security agencies on the ground in Zamfara and on the other northwestern states, do we know anything about any sort of collaboration that they're talking about or is already in place?
Well, before now, Adeshua, I do know that the police have been carrying out a number of operations that have to do with the issue of cattle rustling situation. Some months back, 2 months or 3 back, I know that the Nigerian police here in Zamfara State arrested, recovered over 200 cows and other domestic animals and arrested some suspected cattle rustlers who were since handed over to the state government. And even today, I saw the police commissioner among I saw some senior police officers among the entourage of the president. And the police were actually looking after the entry points of the state. So generally, I believe at the end of the day, there may be a kind of collaboration between between the police and the military. But it's an annual Army Day celebration. It is expected that the military will dominate the scene.
So lastly, let's talk about agriculture, which the president has asked Nigerians to reconsider. He also stated that again during that visit to Zamfara. Well, we do know that agriculture used to be the mainstay of our economy before the discovery of oil. What do farmers in Zamfara produce that can be of economic importance?
Yes, again, from President Muhammadu Buhari told the people of Zamfara State that should come out and mass to embrace agriculture. President Buhari was particularly concerned about the issue of the Nigerian economy. He says the only thing that we can depend on now to come back on track is when we pay much attention to the issue of agriculture. So he actually called on Nigerians, not only the people of Zamfara State, to switch to agriculture. And he says Zamfara State has a very vast land of agriculture, and the people of Zamfara can contribute significantly in terms of agriculture in the country. And the president has also assured the people that his government will provide fertilizer for farmers. Although he says this year is complete, but by the next rainy season, the Nigerian government will actually provide fertilizer, enough fertilizer that the farmers will be able to use. Again, the president visited Emir of the South, where he also urged the Emir to embark on an aggressive sensitization that to embrace
All right, Idris, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on the president's visit to Zamfara. Quite detailed there. Let's take a break on Network Africa. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at all the stories. South Sudan ceasefire. Nationals have begun evacuating their own people, foreign nationals that is. We'll bring you the latest when we come back.